What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and right now we're hearing that frustrations are building, tempers are rising, and accusations are flying regarding the stalling of the bipartisan infrastructure bill. However, with all of the chaos going on, we're hearing one voice amongst the crowd, and that is Bernie Sanders coming out and saying, that's okay, go ahead and argue and fight all you want, but one way or another, we're going to be passing more stimulus, and that is because, let me remind you, that Democrats, they control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So if Republicans don't want to come to an agreement, we're getting everything ready. This is your stimulus check update and your stimulus package update. And in just the past 24 hours, we've been seeing articles come out like this. Take a look. With bipartisan infrastructure talks in limbo, progressives eye a $4.1 trillion silver lining. So Bernie Sanders is saying that's all right. Take that bipartisan physical infrastructure, roads, bridges, and highways stimulus, roll it into the human one, and we're going to pass the largest stimulus package you have ever seen. And here's another article that says frustrations build as infrastructure talks drag on. And we're going to be taking a look at this one. It's going to be sharing with us all of the accusations that are flying right now in Congress about why they haven't gotten that infrastructure deal ready. Now, we'll see if they get it together, but what we're hearing is, regardless, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he is readying to bring it to the floor once again. Take a look at this article. Chuck Schumer expected to bring up the $1.2 trillion deal to vote next week. So you guys, what we're hearing is that one way or another, there's going to be more stimulus coming, whether it's through that bipartisan bill, if they can get it together, or if it falls apart. Bernie Sanders is saying that's okay, just going to roll all of that stimulus into one massive giant package. So you guys, I'm going to be diving into these articles, let you know what's happening right now. We're hearing a lot is going to be unfolding early next week. And also, I've got some video footage from Bernie Sanders' Twitter page where he's saying, hey, all these people are saying all this stuff, but that's okay. More stimulus is on the way. People need it. So you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in, get you caught up on the latest as of today, July 23rd, 2021. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second, and don't forget, smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Helps out the channel a ton before we dive in. Also, leave your comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts, and also share this out on social media platforms if you think it's going to help out other people. Those gestures just take a second, really help me out a ton. Thank you so much. And don't forget, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. You can come join the viewing community. Come and join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff so you know what's happening with stimulus, unemployment, Congress, the economy, anything having to do with money. That's what I like to talk about here. And if you got any specific questions for me, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. And also, thank you so much to all of those that joined me yesterday on our live on Instagram. That's the best place to get a hold of me. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as to what's happening right now, what we're hearing from Bernie Sanders in Congress regarding infrastructure and the coming new stimulus. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and start off with this Twitter post that came out yesterday from Senator Bernie Sanders, and then we're going to be diving into this article that's going to give us a little bit more detail as to what we can expect to see. So let's take a look at this Twitter post.
This is a left-wing dream of Bernie Sanders.
Medicare expansion, the child tax credit.
Affordable housing, I don't know what that means.
What makes the Republicans very nervous, and they are, it is true, they are, is they know that this is an extremely popular set of proposals, long overdue.
Universal pre-K, more expanded child care.
Oh, they love the family medical leave.
And a good chunk of dough going to free community college education.
On virtually every single proposal, it has widespread support from the American people.
Pre-K, paid for extended family leave, free community college. They want those enacted into law.
Let Mr. Barrasso go to the folks in Wyoming and ask them whether they think it's a good idea that they should be paying, a third of their income in child care.
They want to expand Medicare. They want to expand Medicaid.
Ask elderly people who don't have any teeth in their mouth whether they should be able to get dentures through Medicare.
You've got Civilian Climate Corps, something new.
Ask the scientific community whether the time is now in a big way to deal with climate. Ask the ordinary American consumer whether we should take on the greed of the pharmaceutical industry, which charges us the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs.
What they're planning on is to jack up taxes on wealthier Americans and businesses.
In fact, by demanding that the wealthy and large corporations start paying their fair share of taxes, we're going to pay for it in a progressive way.
Well, there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As we saw in that Twitter post, all of these GOP representatives listing off all of the things included, saying that these were ridiculous, sort of, and we were hearing Bernie Sanders saying these are all things that are needed, and he was saying ask these people if they support it, ask them what they think about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you agree with Bernie Sanders that we need these provisions, or do you agree more with the GOP saying we don't need to provide all of this stuff, this is too much stuff, and we're going to be just adding more and more to our debt? And keep in mind that this, they're saying, is going to be the largest stimulus package that we have seen so far. Currently, this human infrastructure is going to be 3.5, and they're saying they might even roll in the rest of that traditional infrastructure if they can't agree upon it, and it might even get bigger. Take a look at this article, link in the description below, as always, so you know I'm not just making random stuff up. And it says, with bipartisan infrastructure talks in limbo, progressives eye $4.1 trillion silver lining. And it says, as bipartisan talks on a separate, smaller infrastructure bill remain in flux, liberal Democrats in both chambers are already signaling that the bigger bill's top line will need to increase if a cross-aisle deal falls apart. Now, the article says, with bipartisan infrastructure talks trapped in limbo, progressives are already hustling to protect or even grow their massive social spending proposal. Now, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has yet to indicate when exactly he'll move forward on the $3.5 trillion price tag that fellow Democrats have backed for a party-line plan to tackle prized liberal priorities from healthcare to climate change. But as bipartisan talks on a separate, smaller infrastructure bill remain in flux, liberal Democrats in both chambers are already signaling that the bigger bill's top line will need to increase if a cross-aisle deal falls apart. Now, not every Democrat agrees. Some critics are flatly rejecting the idea of adding even a single more dollar to the party's already hefty plan that's on tap to pass without GOP votes through what's known as budget reconciliation. So there we hear them just pretty much reiterating that Democrats will roll this all into one massive bill, and they said that some of them are not necessarily quite on board, probably Senator Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, but we've seen in the past that they'll likely get them on board. They just got to probably make a few adjustments to get them all unified. Now, reading on, it says Senator Tim Kaine, a member of the Budget Committee, said in an interview Wednesday that he remains optimistic about the bipartisan talks, but added that if for some reason the bipartisan version doesn't work out, then we ought to be looking at a reconciliation bill that's about $4.1 trillion. And keep in mind that is the largest we've seen, but we've also heard Senator Bernie Sanders and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer say as much as $6 trillion. And we've heard Pramila Jayapal from the House say she thinks it should be somewhere between 6 and 10 trillion. And just to let you know, this is massive, incredible amounts of spending that we have never seen so far. And a lot of the GOP is concerned about all this debt, all this money that we're adding, inflation concerns. And they're saying that we don't need to do this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, as we mentioned, right now, talks are happening to see if they can come to an agreement on that first bipartisan infrastructure bill. But we're going to see, because take a look at this article that came out from The Hill, link in the description below. It says frustration builds as infrastructure talks drag. And it says tempers are starting to flare on both sides of the aisle as bipartisan infrastructure talks drag on and negotiators face the prospect of missing an informal self-imposed deadline of Monday for getting the deal done. And as you know, we heard yesterday, Monday keep coming up. So right now, that is the tentative deadline. And it says some Democrats are accusing Republicans of slow walking the negotiations and reopening negotiating items that were believed to be solved. So we're hearing that things are kind of going backwards with these bipartisan talks. Now, the Republicans say Democrats are being unreasonable in some of their demands, such as an instance of tens of billions of dollars in new funding for transit and broad authority for local governments to decide how to spend infrastructure funds. Now, a bipartisan group of Senate negotiators who have been working with the White House for months to fill out a $1.2 trillion 8-year spending proposal say they're on track to get it done next week, but frustrations are starting to mount as the final deal eludes them, and they are right at the finish line, and now we're hearing things are starting to fall backwards. It says they have not been serious about transit dollars, said Senator Sherrod Brown, the chairman of the Senate Banking Committee, who is leading the battle for more federal money for public transit, one of the biggest obstacles to getting this deal. We've offered to split the difference, and they don't seem to want to do that, she said. It's not we Who's stalling? Brown added. Brown accused Republicans of drawing out the talks to derail President Biden's agenda, which Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says will move as a bipartisan infrastructure package and a budget reconciliation bill planned for the fall. So they're saying they're trying to stop that. And just in case you were wondering, the Senate and the House are going to go on an August recess, and they're going to be out for several weeks. So they're trying to get this done before then, but we're hearing they're accusing Republicans of trying to derail that schedule. Now, Schumer said that he will set up a reconciliation process by scheduling a vote on a budget resolution after the bipartisan infrastructure bill passes the Senate. But negotiators haven't finished work on their bipartisan framework, holding up the whole process. And here's a look at the congressional calendar, just in case you were wondering. The yellow is the House and the blue is the Senate. So the last time the House is going to be in session is going to be July 30th before their recess. And the Senate, their last day is going to be August 6th. Then after that, they're going to be getting 5 weeks off. So you guys, they're not going to be coming back until the middle of September. So they're hoping to get this done before then. They pretty much got 1 week in the House and 2 weeks in the Senate. However, we've seen in the past that that doesn't necessarily mean anything. A lot of members will stay to get things finalized and taken care of. But I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. That's the latest we're hearing. Looks like Monday could be a big day, and I'll be sure to keep you up to date on everything. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. And don't forget, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and come join the Ram fam, the viewing community. I'll keep you up to date on everything going on. And if you got any specific questions for me, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. And with that being said, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Remember, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those are my uploads, guaranteed videos, and also random videos throughout the day as news breaks. But with that being said, hope this reaches you well. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.